Well, we love to keep our Katie's Book Club selections a mystery until the moment our readers get them. And this month, the book turned out to be a mystery. Smile Beach Murder by Alicia Bessette took us to Cattail Island on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Callie Paget returns to her hometown after losing her job. Now she finds work at a local bookshop, but soon after gets curious about the case of a mysterious death in town that actually parallels a piece of her past. And I am ecstatic to chat with author Alicia Bessette today. Here you are via Zoom. How you doing, Alicia?
Hi, I'm so good, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for choosing Smile Beach Murder.
Oh, it was such an adventure from start to finish. Tell us what inspired you to write this book.
I was inspired by my surroundings. So I live on the Outer Banks, in a town that's very similar to Cattail on Cattail Island, which is fictional in the book. I'm from Massachusetts originally. When I moved to this beach town, I quickly noticed that there was a vibe here that is very different from where I grew up. So people here are proud of their independence, but they also really value togetherness.
So here's the deal, Alicia. You had me thinking, I'm reading, I'm getting in, I'm thinking, oh, this person did it, and that person did it. It's got to be this person. Did you know, without any spoilers, of course, did you know who the killer was going to be?
I thought I knew, so I wrote about 100 pages of my rough draft, and then I realized, wait a second, this person isn't the killer, it's this person. So I went back and changed it.
No way.
Best laid plans, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that see, I always wonder that. Like, do you start one place and then you go another? That I think that's so fascinating. One quote you had, obviously, Callie's mother was, she had passed away kind of tragically, and she had a quote in there. Obviously, Callie takes a job at a bookshop, and her mother loved Mary Higgins Clark books. So there was a quote that said, good old MHC never lets you down. So what is your connection to Mary Higgins Clark? Was that an author that you were inspired by, or?
I went through a pretty heavy Mary Higgins Clark phase. I discovered her as a teenager, but I do think that Callie, my heroine, sees herself in Mary Higgins Clark's characters. And so Callie draws a lot of inspiration from the Mary Higgins Clark book that she reads in Smile Beach Murder. So there's a book within a book thing going on.
Book within a book, that's fun.
Yeah.
Something else another quote that I pulled out, she's talking to Toby here, and she says, "Can you talk?" I asked. Why do people say that when what they really mean is, can you listen? And I think that is so true that we do as humans. We ask people, hey, can you talk? But we're really asking them, can you listen to me? I thought that was so cool.
I love that you picked that out. So that's one of my favorite lines. So that line came out in revision. Revision is really where the magic happens for me. So, you write a draft, and then you write another draft, and then you write another draft. I think that Toby, he has his own life philosophy, and Callie's never really met anyone like that before. And so it's exciting to her, and she trusts him. And yeah, so I think that's where that line came from.
I love it. It's something I'm going to be thinking about for a while. So
nice.
You also, in this book, you've got a mystery going, but you also incorporate a treasure hunt from years past. So how did those two things kind of come together, and did that ever get confusing?
No, it never got confusing. My goal with writing this book was to marry two different sort of very Outer Banksian ideas together into one plot. I had an experience at the top of Body Island Lighthouse, which is in South Nags Head, a few years ago, where I climbed all the way to the top, and I thought, man, if something were to go wrong up here, that is a long way to fall, as I'm like backing away from the edge, And then I said, that kind of feels like something a mystery writer might file away for future use, tragedy at a lighthouse. So I had that idea. And then not long after that, I read a local news story about a woman, a vacationer down here. She was walking along the beach one morning and something washed up at her feet in the surf, and she picked it up, and it was a message in a bottle. And it had been written in the 1980s by an 8-year-old boy via Facebook. She was able to track down this boy, who is, of course, no longer a boy. He's now a man. And they struck up a correspondence. So I had, tragedy at a lighthouse, message in a bottle. How can I marry those two ideas together? And that's what I did.
Well, you did a beautiful job of it. I truly loved this.
Thank you.
So, of course, this is Smile Beach Burner, and your next book just came out, right? The sequel.
Yes, Murder on Mustang Beach just came out a few weeks ago, so available now wherever books are sold. And it takes place 11 months after Smile Beach Murder ends. And Toby and Callie are deepening their relationship, and there is a wild horse story in there as well, and some murdery shenanigans that Callie has to set straight.
Well, Alicia, thank you so much for allowing us to read Smile Beach Murder, and thank you for talking with us today. Just love what you do, and I can't wait for Murder on Mustang Beach.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
All right, and you can get either of those books at BethanyBeachBooks.com or go online, and be sure to stay tuned for our June pick for Katie's Book Club. DelmarvaLife will be right back.